At any point in time, I try as much as possible not to get jealous or envious anyone, truth be told.
I feel like human beings can be mirrors of possibility. When you see them, you know that this is possible
Yeah.
just because they've attained it in
Yeah.
that way. That's a really good one.
Had used my 5 years in university to build a good grade, but I still lack that employability skill. I literally was helpless. So I was all over the place in any conference asking questions. I was literally sliding in anybody's DM on LinkedIn who were in the top firm, like literally.
That's a lot of career capital, as they call it. So you know that if you need them for a recommendation or something,
Exactly. If I discover something, I don't know how to hoard knowledge, right? It's just my philosophy about life. Like,
oh, right? How do you close that knowledge gap and skill gap for a person who wants to grow in their career?
yeah, so this is where you need to have
Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Technology Life Series 1.0. Here we have Opeyemi Fabiyi. He's a manager currently at Data Culture, which is a data consulting firm. Prior to Data Culture, he used to work at CarryWise as the only data person.
yeah. I started data team at CarryWise.
He started the data team at CarryWise Clockets. And prior to that, he used to be at Deloitte. And he currently is the founder of the Young Data Professional Community here in Lagos, Nigeria, and also the founder of Lagos DBT Meetup.
Yeah.
Amazing. And just a known voice. He's intelligent. He's a people's person. He's amazing. In the data space, Opeyemi is one of the pillars, both in Nigeria and outside of Nigeria. So it's such an honor to have him here. I'll be hearing his journey and just hearing tips from him. Okay, so you've had a fascinating career from Deloitte, CarryWise, now at Data Culture. How did you break into tech, considering that you did not study computer engineering or something?
Yeah, so I would say my journey into tech. So I didn't start based on the old noise when the old buzz started in 2020, COVID and all. So I started from my final year in university.
Okay.
So interesting, I was top 1% in my faculty, University of Ibadan, electronic engineering. So had good CGPA, 6.8 over 7. UI is
Interesting.
So it was a case that I came to a realization in my final year that had used my 5 years in university to build a good grade, but I still lacked that employability skill that would make me employable. Yes, I had a good grade, but at that realization, during my final year, one of my classmates asked me, okay, what next after UI? And I was startled. I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh, yeah, there's something around data analytics that I've been reading about. And that was the conversation. And I went researching what's data analytics, and then I stumbled on Harvard Business Review article. I said, well, data science will be the essential job in the 21st century. This was 2017.
Wow.
So when I saw the article, I was really fascinated. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go for this. And pretty much just drew out a roadmap of my learning, things I'm going to pick up and learn, started taking courses online, and then that pretty much just started my data journey. So I would say one is power of having the right network. Because there's no way if I didn't have that conversation with my friend that day about what next about you and him talking about data analytics, I probably would be an oil rig as an engineer or something.
Interesting. So you mentioned having a grade in school and then being employable. Like,
Yeah.
can you expatiate a bit more on that?
Yeah, so there's difference between having a good grade and having the skill that employers are looking for, right? Your good grade only show that you can be hardworking and dedicated and you can focus on something and pass. It doesn't translate to problem solving. It doesn't translate to whatever skill set the job market need. Probably it's product marketing, whatever it is, whatever the domain is, right? It's not, there's no correlation between them. So, and that's why, yes, you can still have people that would have good grade and still create time to earn employable skill sets.
Okay.
And that's the best of both worlds. That means you have a good grade because, trust me, there are instances at the application where my good grade would make me easy to apply,
Definitely.
where someone that probably maybe finished with a lower grade will still struggle. And that's why it's a best of both worlds. Since school, get a good grade, and also don't neglect also building skill sets that would also set you apart in the absence of skills. So it's almost like prepare as though you don't need your grade, and also assume your grade is the only thing that will try for you.
Interesting. How do you know what these skill sets are?
It's now one a function of your interest, and that's
Your
where
interest, okay.
personality comes in.
Okay.
Right. So while I was researching I talk about the data analytics, right? At some point, I did software engineering.
Interesting.
Yeah, I did software engineering back in 1 year, and I just knew no, this thing is not for me. All right. But I'm like, oh, data analytics. I studied engineering. I love math. I love anything analytical. So even if yes, I didn't know what data analytics is, so that already had a bit of strength playing into my area of strength. The same thing also coming into someone that's probably in the creative. You're already someone that just they love creative stuff. They may not know there's anything about anything created at UI, UX, or whatever, content marketing and all. But it's just a part of them that just love the creative. So which means they would naturally gravitate and would thrive in the creative space compared to another person that's just that tech nerd or that person that just love the old technical stuff. So it's where, one, your personality comes in, and then research job that are in high demand that then speak to your personality. And that's why personally, I just tell anybody that reach out to me, oh, what should I do? I just, go on YouTube and search a day in the life of a digital marketer.
Interesting.
A day in the life of a software developer. A day in the life of whatever different skill that people have said will be in high demand in the next 10, 20 years. Then based on that, you can narrow it down and say, no, I don't like this. Oh, I think I like 1, 2. Then try it out. If you don't enjoy it, you can switch.
That's a very interesting thing. And I feel like I agree with you about how your interest and your personality plays an important role. So I started doing something early this year where, you know how you probably get it a lot where people come to your DM and say, oh, I'm trying to transition, or I'm trying to, how did you do it and all. So I did set up a call, like a link, and so people like come in and all. And one thing I realized is that people want to come into tech, but they don't know what to do. So I did create this. It was like kind of like an AI-powered questionnaire where it asks you certain questions like, okay, do you like working alone? Do you like planning things? And then based on that, it recommends something for you. And I'm seeing how it's so important to do something that you're interested in.
Yeah.
But then you would also agree that the job market can be very tricky. How do you balance that? I want to do something I'm interested in and something that pays me. What's the balance?
So when I say something, I think I probably need to draw the line. So when I say something that interests you, I'm not talking about passion in this instance, because somebody can say, oh, my passion is photography.
Or music.
Or music, right?
Okay.
Good, you can try, but the question is, how easy will it be for you to break in? Why not explore domain that if I have the right tenacity and I put all the necessary energy I need to this thing and I learn it in 1, 2, 3 years max, I can break in.
Because the job is there.
Because the job is there. So when I talk about interest or personality, I'm not saying, yes, the truth is you can still come back to whatever you're fascinated about when you make the money and when you are much comfortable. And that's what a lot of people do. They chase other things. They chase things that can pay the bills. And then when they are much comfortable, they can go back and chase whatever passion that they have. So which is why it's more or less, look at those skill sets that are in high demand. You can narrow it down. If you check the future of work that have been released, that get released every year, you can narrow it down to okay, fine, these are the top 10 jobs that are in high demand. Based on these top 10 jobs that are in high demand, which of them gravitate to my personality? Or which of them do I think I will enjoy more? Use that to narrow it down to 1, 2, 3, and then do extensive research to then know which one you are doubling down on. It's just sure that, yes, if you double down on 1, 2, it's just a matter of time, you will definitely break in.
That's a really good one. I see a lot just from what you're saying, how one can move from point A to point B. You have to have a plan.
Yeah.
I feel like the world is changing. It's moved away from I have this skill, I get the job, to more about personal branding, how obvious you are. So tell me about how, the role of personal branding really in just helping you break into tech or growing your career.
Yeah, so like you said, gone are the days where it's almost like your skill speak for you. Now, there's now a lot of things that would need to speak for you, not just your skill.
Definitely.
Which is why there's now the advent of put yourself out there, build in public, share what you're doing. Let people know what you're doing. Now, where that comes in play, and which is where it's also very interesting, you also see people that don't know half of what you know, or by virtue of the fact that they are very vocal, they are all over the place.
Definitely.
They will get a lot of recommendation. I'll be like,
I've worked with this person and
exactly. But the truth is, this is the person they are seeing. This is, if they search and they are looking for a product manager, or they search for, who is the best photographer. That's the person they will see all over the place. They may not even know half of what you're doing. They may not have your skill set. But the truth is, that's the person they are seeing, and you won't blame them. The same thing happened last year, just to give a bit of context to it. Now, I lead a data commercial aware, and then Sterling Bank was doing, they organized one event, and then they invited someone who we all know is not a data person.
Interesting. Was it a data event?
It was a data event, and then we are guys like, this person is not a data engineer, we know. But now we then came to realization, truth be told, we ourselves that are doing this stuff, we're not so loud enough. So it's very easy for them to call this person, because truth be told, this person is so loud and all over the place, which is not a bad thing. So I say that to say this, yes, you can have the skill, but the truth is, if you also don't find a way to present the skill that you have in a way, either once in a while talk about it, you don't have to, and that's why personal brand does not mean you have to be all everywhere on social media posting. It's just a case where, do you have that digital footprint about whatever you're doing? That if somebody go on Google and search your name, what pop up? And that's what you want to build. So it doesn't mean you have to be posting every now and then. It can be a case where, oh, I just want to write an article about what I'm doing on Medium, such that if anybody go on Google, my article will pop up of things I've written. And that's a brand that anybody know things I'm doing. And that's just something you want to leverage as you're also building your skill set. Also see room that you find a way to also make yourself available and visible to people that would appreciate your skill set.
So interestingly, I feel like you're one of the first set of people in the data space to break into the international scene. How did you do that?
So this also speaks to, I think it was a case of preparedness and visibility. Those are the things that play into my current job. My organization at the time was consulting for one of the top 3 fintech in Nigeria. I won't mention any, but at least you can narrow it down and know which of the fintech. So they were consulting for them, and in a way to feel a bit of comfortability with them, they needed a Nigerian person. They needed a Nigerian person, right? So how will they get that? As at then, I had started the DBT meetup in Lagos. So I was in the DBT community. Every now and then, I was always responding to people's questions. I was always posting questions. So when I saw the job, I just reached out to the co-founder that, oh, I'm available, I'm in Nigeria. And then the conversation started.
And that was it.
Before then, too, I'd always been posting and posting. So each time I would post, I would say that she would like my post. I didn't even know.
What
so
platform?
It was on LinkedIn. I was always writing some of the article around things then. I was very active 2019, 2020, 2021. I post very steady on LinkedIn. So it was easy for them to, see that I have the skill set. And now I talk about the visibility part of it. The preparedness part of it was, what they needed me for was what I'd built for CarryWise. So it was a case where now the clients, in this instance, the fintech in Nigeria, was trying to set up their data infrastructure. This is me coming with, I've done this with my current organization as the only data person. So which means I can replicate that same thing for these clients you want to feel. So that's why I say it's a function of preparedness and visibility. And that's why I talk about the personal branding, because there's no way I had the skill set, but if I was not visible where they could see me, there's no way I would have gotten my job.
That's interesting. And I know that DBT was kind of like a channel for you. And even till now, I don't think DBT is very obvious in the Nigerian market space. So how did you even know about it to, learn it and get to that point?
Yeah, so I joined CarryWise from Deloitte.
Okay.
I was doing data science, data analytics at CarryWise. When I joined CarryWise, they didn't have a data infrastructure. Interestingly, I was hired as a data scientist. So my offer letter was actually data scientist. But when I joined, I realized that you can't do data science without an infrastructure. And I'd not been doing data engineering. All the clients I've been working with at Deloitte have infrastructure. I just come in and do my stuff. So it was a case where, how do I learn data engineering? Now, this was almost like being hired at the wrong time. My CEO, CTO had an expectation, oh, we have someone from Deloitte. Come and do the magic.
Expectations were high.
Were very high. And now this is me coming and telling them, there's no infrastructure, I can't do my job. So which means I needed to find a way to upskill into data engineering to do my job. So, and that's why I started researching, how do I do this thing? Like, I've never set up an infrastructure ground up myself. And from reaching out to people, and that's why one thing I also talk about is always reach out, always ask questions. Like, if you need help, don't just wallow there. Reach out. it might look as though you are disturbing, but it's just you need help. You are the one that need help, so you should be able to reach out for help. So I was literally sliding in anybody's DM on LinkedIn who were in the top firm, like literally. I remember I joined an Airflow conference then, and then when doing QIA, I literally raised my hand. It was a global event. I raised my hand. I asked myself, I'm a solo data team. How do I do this? So interestingly, it was a person that attended the conference that then slid into my DM on LinkedIn that, he heard my question that this is what I could do. I should check out DBT. And that was the first time I heard
that
about
you heard
DBT.
about it. That's interesting.
You understand? It was just the guy. I felt like, this guy looked helpless. I literally was helpless. So I was all over the place in any conference asking questions. So he saw that and just said, check DBT. And that was what changed everything. So I was like, this is amazing. Then from there, we said, join the community, and that changed everything for me. So it was now leveraging my own credibility to propose it to CarrierWise, and they bought it.
That's interesting. For the people who don't know what a data infrastructure is, do you want to just give a very lay definition?
Oh, yeah. So sorry about that. So a data infrastructure is almost like if you want to prepare a meal, right, you need to first go to the market to get different recipes to prepare a food. And to do that, somebody has to go to the market, do all of those work, and come back and prepare the meal in the kitchen before you serve everybody. Now, a data infrastructure in this instance is how do we have a place that make it easy such that we can easily get all the recipes, all the food that we need, and then serve it in a dish. So, and that's what the whole data infrastructure means. So the dish in this instance, or a meal in this instance, is a report. A CEO wants to see what was our revenue 6 months ago. That is a meal they want to see. How do you serve them? You need to go and first look at all transactions, right? Where do you get those transactions? It has to be somewhere. And that's what a data infrastructure will do for you. Make it easy to have access to this information at the tip of your finger.
That's a really good one. I love how, I'm seeing how you don't just have technical skills. You have very good soft skills, like being able to explain non-technical things to technical things to non-technical people. And I'm seeing a lot how those soft skills play a very important role in just even your growth in your career a lot. That's really good. Okay, let's talk about community. Yeah. There's Lagos DBT community, there's Young Data Professionals community. Tell us a bit about that and why you decided to start these initiatives.
So in 2018, 2019, when I started actively doing my data stuff, I realized there was very little resources for career transitioners. It's now very prominent now. You have a lot of academies. If you want to do anything tech, there are academies all over the place. There are communities all over the place. As at then, there was literally none. Maybe the only one that was active was Data Science Nigeria.
Okay.
So it was very challenging navigating, what resources to learn. It took me almost like 18 months before I got my first data job. So which means I was literally learning everything, whether the one I need or the one I don't need.
Without a clear roadmap.
Exactly, without that clarity. So it's a case of me feeling like, okay, now I've gotten my job, I was at Deloitte. How do I then help people that want to transition into analytics such that they don't have to go through all of the hassle, all of the challenges I went through, not knowing which course to take, just going all over the place. And that's what motivated the Young Data Professional that started in 2019. It was a case of, I know many people want to do data analytics, but the truth is there are not so clear-cut rule on how to go about it. So now I want to do this. And that's how I started Young Data Professional.
That's interesting. For people who want to join the community, I heard it's filled up, or is there still space?
So it's actually like an invite only because I'm of the opinion that I prefer quality over quantity. So which is why I'd rather someone refer and say, okay, fine, I want this person to join because it will be beneficial for this person. As again, just make it open, everybody just join, and you don't know wherever. So which is why it's an invite only. So if you feel like, I want this person to join, I will send you the link and then this person join.
That's a really good one. Tell me about Lagos DBT community.
So it's still the same thing around. So my personality is, if I discover something, I don't know how to hoard knowledge, right? It's just my philosophy about life. Like, be the springboard that help others thrive, and you also get that fulfillment. Because my greatest fulfillment personally is seeing people thrive and then feeding back to me and say, "Good, thanks for clear input." It just give me that. And which is why everything I do, I try to revolve that around community. So when I also got my job through the DBT community, I also realized that there was literally no company in Nigeria that was using DBT at the point in time.
Interesting.
And it was so prominent in US, Canada, and also out there. Why do we have a lot of underrepresentation of the Nigerian African space in this space. Let me pioneer this. And that was just pretty much it. Was one, let people have access to this global opportunity. In a way, also have access to global jobs because in DBT, they were always posting jobs. So in the case of, I've gotten job here, I shouldn't hold this information. People should have access to the same opportunity. And that was what started the DBT Meetup. And since then, a lot of people have gotten jobs through the community. A lot of people are thriving. And in a way, it also make me feel good knowing that when they say DBT in Nigeria, I can confidently say I champion the knowledge revolution of that.
So you've grown in your career. Let's talk about data culture, for example. What did you join as, what are you now, and have you been able to progress on a global scale?
I joined data culture as an analytics engineer. And
In what year?
2021.
Okay, 2021, okay.
Yeah, I got promoted to a senior data lead, and then got promoted again in 2023 as an analytics manager. So which means I've had 2 promotions in my current role. And like you said, it's a different ball game when you are working for an international company because one, you're competing more with competitive talent,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So, and you also have to prove yourself working where there is that barrier in terms of, you are remotely working. So
You're
which
not based
means
in the US.
you're not based in the US. That means the human interaction is not there, which is also something you need for your career. You still want to have a way where you want to build those relationships. So I would say what has helped me over the years is aside one, being good at what you do, which you definitely you can't do anything without that. So being good at what I do. And secondly is also finding a way to build a good relationship with everybody I've worked with on my team. So everybody I've worked with who have probably left my company at some point in time know that Okpa is good at what he does. So that's like an imprint I leave on everybody that have worked with me. Like it's a case where you would see that touch of excellence. And that doesn't come easy. It comes with working extra mile. It comes with stretching myself. It comes with not doing the barest minimum that anybody on the team would do. So which means everyone on the team would just stop at, this is the level we'll stop. I would go and raise the bar. So and that's just what has pretty much helped me.
That's a lot of career capital, as they call it. So you know that if you need them for a recommendation or something.
Exactly. I think I was joking recently on my status because my CEO, my previous CEO, she's currently on a career break, and then we got chatting. I was like, anytime you probably are ready to work, maybe you want to start your company or you want to go back to C-suite, I'm coming to come and work for you. And she was, sure. I would always happy to have you on my team. So it was like, it was fun for me knowing that, I have a C-suite who is almost like, it's just for me to slide in a DM. I want to come and work. So it's just something I also appreciate based on seeing the value of the input of the work that I do, getting appreciated.
Okay, so how do you, there are some people, right, they don't have what they have is a skill problem. They're not really good at what they do, but it's from a place of they don't really know, right? How do you close that knowledge gap and skill gap for a person who wants to grow in their career?
Yeah, so this is where you need to have people that are thriving in whatever domain you are in. That's the truth. Your knowledge will be informed and influenced by your exposure. So, which means you won't know what is excellent if you are not exposed to excellence. So which means whatever domain you are in, that's the honest truth is you can have 1 or 2 people you can pinpoint to say, this person is thriving in whatever I'm doing. If he's in the fashion space, you can say these are the people that are thriving well in the fashion space. So you can pinpoint. So it's not a question of finding a way to then mirror your own experience into their experience. It doesn't have to be a case where, I have to go and meet these people to mentor me. Truth be told, there are ways you can indirectly be mentored by these people. The social media have made this thing very easy. One way, as an example, one way I do that is I can scout through multiple LinkedIn or people that I probably aspire to be what they do like, and then read through what has been their journey. This person did this. This person went for this program. They took this course, and then they're able to work here. Trust me, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's also what is influencing a lot of decisions I'm making now. Like, fine, I need to do this because I've seen this person, a lot of people do this. That will help me. So to answer your question in a short form, it's a question where expose your mind to excellence, which is look out for people that are thriving and doing great in the domain you are currently playing in, and then find a way to mirror your experience in their own in their own journey. Even if you don't have the opportunity to have that close relationship with them, you can leverage that.
That's a really, really good one. Because I feel like human beings can be mirrors of possibility. When you see them, you know that this is possible
Yeah.
just because they've attained it in
Yeah.
that way. That's a really good one. So there are people who are like at really, you know, very like junior stages in their career, and one day they want to like be an Okoyemi Fabi, you know, grow in their career and all of that. What's one advice if you were to tell them one thing that you can tell them to say, if you hold on to this, yeah, in no time at all, you'll be this excellent person who is globally recognized and all of that.
So I always have this mantra everywhere that I end with, and that's like, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So which means the journey to excellence and whatever career pursuit you are aspiring to is a marathon. It will take time. So which means you are your own competition. It could take someone else 6 months, a year to break through. It's possible they have some unfair advantage you are not aware of. It can take you 2 years, but the most important thing is once you realize that it's a marathon, not a sprint, it helps you to be dogged and keep at it, even when liturgy sets in. Because truth be told, at a point in time, no matter what you're aspiring to do, sometimes you just get bored of it.
Yeah, just
like,
tired.
You're just tired because like, I'm doing this thing, I'm not seeing any success, I'm not seeing any output. I've written this exam, I'm failing. I've done everything possible, I'm not seeing an output. So at those points in time, frustration will come in. So what will keep you going is also realizing that, oh, it's a marathon, not a sprint, which means it might not happen at the time I would have loved, but if there's anything is, once you stay dogged to anything, it's just the principle of life. If you stay dogged enough to anything, you will definitely achieve it. It may not just happen in the time frame you have defined for it, but no matter what, it will definitely happen. And that's just why everything you do, realize it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Interesting and amazing. So it's almost like consistency. You can never go wrong with staying consistent at
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
That's such a good one. Thank you so much for sharing your journey today. Do you have any final words or just anything to say to people who may be listening?
Yeah, I think one thing I would say, in addition to what I said earlier about it being a marathon, is you are your own competitor. Like, you are the one you are competing against. And progress should be, am I a better person than I was yesterday? Am I a better person than I was 6 months ago? Am I a better person than I was a year ago? And that's the way I evaluate myself. At every point in time, I try as much as possible not to get jealous or envious of anyone, truth be told. It's a case of when I do a self-reflection, which I do regularly, which is what you should also do, evaluate your success, evaluate your progress based on who you were last week or who you were last month. I say, did I read anything? How am I making progress? If I compare myself 6 months ago and now, what has changed? That should be how you evaluate yourself, not somebody else that is doing something else. So, and once again, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and you are your competitor.
Amazing. I mean, I would have loved to end it here, but one question, yeah. What role has faith played in your career journey and your career growth? Are you a Christian?
Yeah, I'm a believer, a firm one at it.
Believer in Manu?
Okay. Oh yeah. I'm a Christian. Yeah, I'm a believer in the gospel of Christ. In all of this, as much as I talk about working hard, there's also the place of I believe in God's favor, because what are the odds that the person who reached out to me told me about DBT? What are the odds that when my current company were looking for a job, I was well positioned for it? So it's, yes, there's a place of working hard, but I also believe that there is also the hand of God. So, which is why, as people would say, plan as though there's no God, but pray as though
you haven't planned.
You have no plan. And that's what drives everything I do.
This is such a good one. Can we actually thank you so much, Okoyemi. What an amazing time we had just hearing from Okoyemi Fabi. Like I said, he's somebody I admire so much. He's one of the person that I'm trying to mirror his own experience into mine. So such an amazing time. Just hearing his journey, excellence, being rightly positioned, being prepared, always evaluating yourself to make sure that you grow. I hope you've gained one or two things from this episode, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.